The broadcast is live,
And there it is.
and we're back.
Where'd we go?
Well, I mean, we just took a short commercial break.
I feel like I lost a year to high school baseball,
Yeah.
and I blinked and I was like, "Hey, what happened to that year?"
I mean, baseball, I don't have kids old enough yet to be in like serious. Well, I guess suppose actually they do it earlier and earlier, but
How old
none
are
of my
they?
kids.
The boys?
My boy is 8. But how old is he? Yeah, he's
He
8.
doesn't throw a curveball yet.
No, should
Oh
he? Should he know how to
man,
throw a curve
he
already?
might as well just quit then. He might as well just not even play.
I mean, he doesn't even take it that seriously.
Why start? If you haven't learned by then he's not going to make the majors.
But man, it's a serious thing. I mean, so it felt like while you were doing your baseball coaching and stuff, I mean, it literally felt like you were always doing stuff, just busy all the time.
It was just that though. It wasn't even like I was busy doing different stuff. That's how I believe that you win a baseball game is that you practice every day. And it's
so having practices every day, was that kind of like your thing? Like you were like, we got to do this every day.
That's it. And I didn't get paid for it in the fall. And I was still like Monday through Friday, we're there from 2 to 7. I don't care. And where I was didn't have cell phone service. So you completely couldn't get a hold of me. I was completely unobtainable.
How old were the kids?
They were juniors and sophomores and freshmen.
Okay.
In high school.
So yeah, they likely were pretty serious about it anyway. So
yeah, they were in. They bought in real quick with let's play baseball. Let's be good at this. So that's where I've been for the last year, and I no longer I'm not going to do that this year. So we're back,
taking a year off to pursue your Guyliners fame and fortune.
Let's start there. Welcome back, everybody, to Guyliners, as we're calling it now, titled TM TBD.
TM TBD.
I'm Alex. This is my friend, and then you speak.
Jordan.
Yeah, all right. With an O, 2 of them with 2 O's.
I speak better when I'm not told to.
That's true. I've noticed that about you. You don't like to be told what to do.
I'm the youngest.
Is that why? Is that you feel
maybe?
Like, because I've noticed that. That's the only time that I've seen you kind of be on tilt. When somebody says
me
like,
off, man.
When somebody says like, "Hey, Jordan, do this," like you'll do it. Hold on, you'll do it, but you will not be happy about
it. No, man. I'll do it with a smile on my face too, though.
I think that's the giveaway.
Still not happy.
I think it's the smile that gives it away. That's the reasoning.
You're right. Do you like to be told what to do?
I
think we covered this in a show in the past.
That depends on the situation. Actually, there are times where I enjoy kind of the reminder. Hey, you still need to get this done, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I refuse to do it because you said I needed to do it. Like I was gonna do it, and then you told me to do it, and now I don't want to do it. But that's the little kid in me.
Yeah, I mean, but there's also, I think, a little bit of that in everyone, because I think everyone wants to do something. They want, like, if you do something because you were told, you're just obedient, and that's great. But if you do something out of your own whatever, like now you can be praised for something. Like you did it, you chose, you didn't, that's like, I think everyone likes to be like the hero in their own story. And the hero is a person that like steps up, like they're choosing to like put themselves in harm's way or do hard things. If they're just doing it because they were told, like you lose a little bit of that flashiness, I think.
So it's not as genuine as kind of what you're saying. You don't feel like it doesn't, you can't own what you've done because somebody else told you to do it. So if anything, they can take the credit in telling you to do it.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's subconscious too, because it's not like it's for a lot of people. I think it's not like they want the praise. They it's like this. It's deeper than that. It's like
Oh, yeah.
I just want to know that I've done something. Like I'm the good one. I did something, and it was me that initiated it. It wasn't, this guy's good, so he had this idea to tell me to do something, and I just obeyed.
Right. And that also goes against what you believe is to question everything usually.
Yeah, you got a question.
That's generally your way of life is never take anything for the surface, dig in.
Man, I mean, we can't talk about every single topic all in this show yet. We got a lot of shows left to make to cover all these things.
We do. You don't want to make it the show about Jordan with 2 O's.
Jordan with 2 O's, yes. Jordan.
Because if you say Jordan with an O, it's like, well, yeah, it has an O. Thank you. Yeah. Like I'm Alex with an A.
You're right.
But that doesn't denote the last vowel.
100%. 100%.
So you have to clarify. But we talked about, I said your kid should give up baseball even though it hadn't started.
Right. So giving up, do you think giving up is a good idea?
I don't know. I mean, let's talk about it. What sometimes, like, what if it's smoking? I could give up smoking and I'm a winner. Obviously.
Quitter.
Yeah, right? Well, I mean, that's the propaganda. That's exactly what big cigarette wants you to think. No, but yes. What's the deal with giving up? Tell me, like, what's your philosophy on giving up?
So, well, I don't know that I have a philosophy. We were kind of talking about this, and I think I just had heard someone saying something apparently inspirational on TikTok that it's okay to give up, and sometimes you just give up. And like, while I understand, I think maybe a small spirit behind that. I think that like the spirit behind that maybe would be, you don't need to guilt someone if they gave up. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Like if you're just done, okay, give up, and we don't have to like shame you for giving up. But that's not the whole story. I think to reach your goals and to succeed takes time, and it takes longer than you think. And you're going to have opportunities to quit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as you quit, you are just deciding not, like, you're never going to reach the goal, and you can make sure of it by quitting.
Right.
If you keep going,
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Right. Who said that? Michael Scott?
I think it was Elmer Fudd.
That was my. I can do that better. Elmer Fudd.
You don't have to.
I know, but I want to.
Nobody told you to. Does Elmer Fudd hold his fingers out? Is that something?
It's me trying to
pull myself
into it.
Is Elmer Fudd Italian?
Maybe he is.
I'm gonna Wikipedia that.
How you doing?
There's a backstory there as to how he got his accent. Cliches are funny to me, by the way. I don't want to get off topic of giving up. So let's keep talking about that. I think there's a time when giving up is okay. Obviously, like I said, with cigarettes, but I'm so committed to my goals that I could be miserable, and I will stick with something until I accomplish it. I will find a silver lining to let me finish whatever that goal is. So yep. I'm not on the team of giving up, but I am on the team of learning something and moving on.
Sure, yeah. Maybe there's a way to look at that as like kind of moving the goalposts, a bit.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, the football player has to become like the trainer or the coach. You want to address that, Jordan? You want to talk about your What's going on?
Oh yeah, that's it's not P90X. I'm not that manly.
It's the same company though. Beach Body.
Yeah, it's Beachbody. Yep. Yeah, but it's an Autumn Calabrese. You know,
It's
workout.
Jordan's motivation, I think. That way, at all times, he can walk by and go, you know what? I feel like I can work out right now.
Well, and so yeah, I was telling you. So when I was doing one of the workouts, watching it.
Apparently, you're working out to be a referee, and the field goal is good.
Speaking of moving goalposts, and
there's a theme that just is happening organically here.
But she said she was talking about her goal to be where she's at today, and she said when she made that goal, she thought it would happen in a year or two. Like thought it would happen pretty quick, but it took 13 years.
She stayed with it for 13 years. But her expectation was 1 or 2.
Right. And so in that time frame, so as soon as you miss it in the time frame that your mind expected it, because it might be easy to stick to it. It might be easy to stick to it when you have that timeline in your head.
Right.
And you're like, okay, yeah, by the end of this year, I'm going to be this. And so you're like, yeah, I'm working hard through the end of the year. But then when that timeline goes by and another year goes by, I think that's when all of a sudden you start getting those, man, that just isn't going to happen. And then that's a daily thing you probably have to fight. And so maybe, for some people, maybe it is okay to consider giving up. But I think the idea would be that giving up is a sure way to not hit your goal. And the only way to reach your goal, why are you smiling so much? The only way to reach your goal, is it because of my hand motions?
It's not
the only way to reach your goal.
How vain.
You have to keep going till you're there. That's just you can't reach it by giving up. You only can reach it by taking that next step till you're there.
And so what started this was I was telling Jordan about a job that I'm up for and how part of the interview they said, if you don't get it, we're going to be rehiring in January and come back. And I said, no way. He was like, you're dead to me. And I was like, I'll never try again. And so that's kind of what started this this conversation.
Yeah.
And
if that was truly I don't believe that that's your attitude.
No, that's why I found it funny, because you believed my words. My words said, I'm never going to try again because my emotions are hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But the true me would only use that to show them that they're wrong. The true me would get the job in January and then tell them to F off because I don't need you. You need me. That's I would take the job. I wouldn't do that. I would be like in my head is what I would do.
Yeah. And then when you'd rehearse it and then you'd get there and you'd be like, by the way, thank you so much for giving me this job. Gosh, I really need this.
Do you validate parking? That's really what I wanted to know. So Anna says that you have outbearded me. I don't know if that was intentional or through laziness, though, Anna.
Yeah, like I said in my TikTok, I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, this is probably laziness. You got less gray, if any. I don't even know. Do you have any gray?
I cut them. I don't. They get trimmed, and whether I do it or someone else does it with scissors, they do not stay very long. And
someone else, like a barber? Do you go to like a place?
I have a guy.
You got a guy?
I got a guy that like hooks me up. Like he makes me drippy. I think that's how they say it.
Is that what the kids are saying?
I think the kids are saying it. He's always made me look good. Like I'll tell him, I'll be like, look, I'm going to Chicago, make me look good. And he'll know exactly what, like, that's what I say when he says what kind of haircut you want. So I'm like,
and what does he do? Do his voice. What does he sound like?
Hey,
I picture it.
He's got a big old mustache and he's hear this one out. Hold on. It's like Beetlejuice. He's got a Beetlejuice thing.
Yeah. Now do Beetlejuice with Elmer Fudd mixed in.
Hey, Beetlejuice. I don't think Fudd was in there, but I don't think Beetlejuice was either. I just said Beetlejuice.
That's so nice to have a guy, though, man. That's what I need.
Well,
I
here's
need a
the
guy in
here's
my
the
life.
fun part. Like I went to him a couple times in the beginning, and then I was in a rush, and I didn't want to wait, and I went to another guy, and he did not do a great job. And then I went on vacation, and there was nothing I could do about it. And I learned my lesson that
Does this guy know about that other guy?
well, he was sitting right there.
Oh, he was there.
It was chair to chair.
It was you were chair to chair.
Oh yeah. So after that, I was willing to wait like an hour and a half if I had to. Here, will you get me some water, son? Thanks.
Can we go shopping for filming?
Sure. Cheers.
Cheers.
Did you know that Jason Sudeikis is the nephew of Norm from Cheers?
I did not know this.
Have you seen Ted Lasso?
I have not watched a single episode of Ted Lasso.
Do you have Apple TV?
I do not have Apple TV. Can you give me your password?
This conversation went well. Sure. Ted Lasso is a show about a football coach that goes to England and coaches soccer, something he knows nothing about. And I felt it was very parallel to my last year.
Really?
In going from Little League baseball to high school baseball, it felt like it was two different worlds. So my attitude.
He gives a lot of motivational speeches too, right?
He's always got the right attitude, that's for sure.
Hmm.
And a part of that, it was funny how like comparison to my life and how I coach and how people viewed me, it was really healthy for me. It was a good show. Are there any shows that you've watched that you would recommend?
Shows. I honestly, man, I'm
just watching Beachbody every day.
I'm just putting in the work.
If I miss an episode of Crunches for 15 minutes, I feel like I'm just not doing it.
I don't always do the exercises, but I watch the episodes of Beachbody.
I don't know how you relax. I like a glass of whiskey and pull-ups for 5 minutes.
I really don't like, because for whatever reason, I feel like I've just rolled over. I'm a simp. Is that what a simp is? Something. I'm a simp for my kids. Like they. I
don't think we should use words anymore. We should only use sounds from here on out.
They are in control of the TV. I haven't. I don't know, because I don't know.
Take the batteries out. You have the batteries, and now you're in control.
I need my TV back, because I really don't. Probably the last.
What's the best cartoon? What's the best kid show you watched that you were forced to watch?
Bluey.
It's easily the best kid show ever to be made.
Yeah. Wait,
Mr. Rogers probably second.
Hold on, my audio is going crazy in my ear. Why is that? I might have to switch up some things here. Hold on. Keep the show going. I just might.
No, dead silence. Let's just wait until you figure your problem out.
I just need to. No, it's not.
Is this wireless? Are you using a wireless headphone? You can't even hear me anymore. So I might as well just talk to myself.
Turn on music.
Great. Oh, put on.
I heard music. I can't hear you right now because I turned these up.
Perfect. So I'll talk to myself. Maybe I should mute him. Yeah, that's what I'll do. We have another topic that we're going to talk about next, which is what do you do when you're alone? And when I'm alone, first off, I get as comfortable as I can be, and I usually take a shower. I think I just clean everybody off me. And maybe I'll put some Netflix on or something. Maybe not. I definitely will not be reading a book. That's something I would not be doing. I don't eat any differently because no one's around. But when I'm alone, I'm probably more productive, I would say. When entities aren't around to distract me, or I don't have to do things like constantly cook or pick up after people. It's nice to get stuff done, whether career wise, whether around the house, and
I'm back.
oh, he can control that himself. Well, that's cute. Look at that.
Did you try to mute me out?
Oh, I didn't try to mute you. I did mute you.
Well, I'm back, baby.
So the question is, what do you do when you're alone?
Oh yes. Did you tell everyone? I couldn't hear.
Yeah, I
Did
told
you
everyone.
start?
I did my part.
But I didn't hear it.
That's gonna be beautiful. Let's see how many we get right. You're gonna get to guess what I do when I'm at home, and then we'll put it next to each other like the Newlywed Game.
I think you probably enjoy a nice fruity drink.
Okay, we're kind of like a fruity drink, something with a strawberry in it.
Yeah, something. It definitely has a pink texture to it.
Okay.
And I would say you probably do some sort of a bubble bath.
Okay.
And you watch something on TV, maybe Ted Lasso, but or something like Judge Judy.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much what I said. That was pretty spot on. My exact words were: I get comfortable, I take a shower, I put something on Netflix, I do not read a book, and then I get something done. I'm usually productive when no one's around.
Yeah. Do you work like if you're would you work out more?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You
So you're right. What do you do?
I would work out less.
Okay.
I kill myself. Well, my brain goes back to like preteen Jordan, and I just, well, like I told you, I mean, I think I'm kind of like Kevin McAllister, and I just kind of sit on the couch and shove rubbish and filth in my mouth and watch crap and yell out loud, come try to stop me, family. I'm watching rubbish and eating filth.
Is there something that you do like specifically when they're away?
So I have a tendency to buy Totino's party pizzas. Totino's.
Not
Totino's.
sponsored. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, yeah, if they're not sponsoring us, I'll call it something else. Both Tino's.
No, you should go out to Totino's Pizza Rolls.
Okay, no, it's not pizza rolls. It's the party pizzas.
I don't know the difference.
Pizza rolls are stuffed little nuggets.
Okay.
Totino's party pizzas are like square pizzas.
How many are
super crispy?
How many do you get in a package?
Well, you can buy them in singles, but they also have a 4-pack, which is what I bought.
So you buy them in a 4-pack. So you have to eat 4 of them before your family gets home. That's the goal.
If I don't want them to completely lose respect for me, yes.
Assuming.
Yeah. But first, I don't know why. It's like the first thing I think is Totino's pizzas, and the only thing I can think of is my parents never bought those for me.
But
as a
like,
kid.
Was it a thing where you were like, "Will you please buy these for me?" And your dad was like, "No."
No, my dad was like, no.
Your dad was over fun.
No, yeah, they wouldn't buy anything. Like, they wouldn't let us eat crap at all. It was always, and I don't know if it was sometimes because of price, like, they were pretty frugal.
No way, because the garbage stuff is cheaper.
Yeah. Well, nowadays, but were they when we were kids?
Always. Probably even more so. Probably like a cent. And they're like, no, not worse than. I don't really know. I was a kid. We were the same age. I started when you did.
But I think I had a sleepover at some guy's house, some kid's house,
And he had them,
and he had them.
and you were
And I was
just like, "Can I have some to take home with me?"
Yeah, forever. Like this is my go-to from now on.
So interesting. I'd love to.
I bought burritos. And here's the thing,
Are burritos bad?
like frozen burritos.
Those are garbage.
Yeah. So I bought some of those too. And again, I can only say like it's attached to something in my brain to do that because I honestly love great food. I know how to make a freaking delicious burrito, and it's not that hard. It's not like effort. Like I could have bought tortillas and some stuff and made some delicious burritos. I bought frozen freaking bean and cheese burritos, Alex.
You're a cliche.
When my family leaves me, I try to kill myself.
But why? Why do
I
that?
don't know.
What is it about your family that makes you want to just eat garbage?
They're the only things keeping me alive. I think
Are you told not to eat garbage? Does someone tell you not to eat? Are you instructed to not eat garbage? Is this may be why? Because someone's telling you not to, and you don't like to be told what to do. So when you're alone, you're like, you know what? Even though I know you're right, and it's better for me, I'll show you.
I'll show you, and then I laugh my way to a heart attack.
Yeah. I think we had a breakthrough there. A breakthrough.
That's Porky Pig. I always kind of get him and Fudd mixed up.
Well, you know, they do look alike. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I think that's why. I can sympathize with not making food. I also know how to make food, but if I don't see the food, I don't make it.
What do you mean?
Yeah, so I have this thing where like I'll buy like steak meat or salad and I'll put it in the drawer. Gone forever.
Yep.
Until it goes bad and I have to throw it away.
Yep. And your family probably doesn't help you with that. They probably grab things and like it ends up shoved to the
something
bottom.
on top of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
my wife drives me nuts. She will put when she goes grocery shopping, she puts all the new stuff in the front. All right. I worked retail.
Yeah,
I know you're supposed to put the old stuff front.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we got stuff that's old that is shoved in the crevices in the back. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I bought yogurt. But I'll never remember it. Like, you're right, man. You got to see it. You got to be able to open it and see it. I don't want to shimmy stuff around in the fridge.
I've always thought, like, what if there were a computer program? So we'll call it an app now because of how long it's been. That just shows you what's in your fridge. So you'd be like, I want to eat. And then you just scroll through and be like, oh yeah, I still have yogurt.
Yeah.
There's got to be a fridge that can communicate with your phone and do that.
I feel like that exists. Yeah.
Of course, right?
Yeah. There's a smart fridge that can tell you what you're out of and what you have, I think. Maybe.
But you have to input it though, right? Like it doesn't just know. You gotta put in the milk and be like, we got milk. And
if
like,
that's the case, then it's never gonna work.
This is what I mean. It's the same problem. I just need it to know. I want it to talk to me.
Yeah. Robots. That's the answer.
Like the movie. I'm watching Glow right now.
That's the
Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
Yeah, I watched that.
It's a fun period of time.
Yeah,
where women weren't taken seriously. It's almost like a league of their own for wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a fun show. You like it? How many have you watched?
Well, I've seen all of them and rewatching them, I guess, just because Mark Maron's pretty funny in it.
Mm-hmm.
Would like to start doing comedy again, just not on the show apparently, but maybe eventually.
And yes, Anna, I do need to be told not to eat garbage. I'm unfortunately. Oh, but I only have to be told that when my family's gone.
So they need to leave notes for you not to eat garbage, like in the fridge, in the freezer, in your car, in your underpants.
But that might fuel my rage to eat more garbage.
It would absolutely would. You'd probably eat garbage on top of the notes.
And it's all right. I mean, I eat the garbage, then I watch a couple beach bodies.
It is. It's like I feel like we're at a gym that doesn't know how to change the display. Like the manager will be in at 3 and he's got the remote. Otherwise, yeah, I'd put the game on.
Yep.
Would you ever buy one of those like suction cups for your abs that like shock you?
I've worn one before. I wouldn't buy one. No, I don't believe in that hocus pocus.
Of electroshock therapy?
I don't know.
Do
you? I mean, you think you can electroshock yourself into a 6-pack?
So I think the idea is your muscles are flexing on their own.
Yeah.
So it's like they're actually working while you're not. Do I believe it? It exists.
It exists.
I don't know if it works.
Have you ever tried it in a bathtub before?
I've tried it outside of a bathtub for about 2 days, and I would rather just put in the work and not give up.
Yeah.
I've always thought that's always been interesting for me about stuff like that, where in my head I'm like, why can't you just do 30 crunches every day for a year?
I think that's a part of it. Is I think sometimes people don't realize how little, like they think, oh, I have to do like an hour workout. If I want the results I need an hour workout. And I think if
they're exhausted for the rest of the week because they already did it.
Yeah, I mean you can just do increment like what you're saying. If all you did was 30 sit-ups every day, which wouldn't take long. I mean, that would take 5 minutes.
You could watch an episode of Ted Lasso while doing it.
Yeah. If you just did that, it would probably improve your physique in a shorter amount of time than you would think.
But nobody wants to put in that work. They'd rather just a lot of people. I don't want to say nobody. A lot of people would rather just shock themselves and have it done for them.
Which is unfortunate. Because there's no way that can be as valuable as actually, like, I don't know, when you're shocking your muscles into flexing, it just can't be the same as actually doing a sit-up. What
are you doing when you do the sit-up?
You're flexing.
Yeah, so
but there's so much more. There's mental. That's probably the big piece, is that you're not adding the mental exercise.
So I'm up for a new job, and we'll find out tomorrow if I get it.
Tomorrow?
So when do you want to meet again?
I mean, Tuesdays would be good when my family's around.
So we're going to meet this Tuesday and try to do another show? Well, it's up to you. It's up to, your availability.
Yeah. Do we want to add a little more structure?
I'd love to. You want to add a game or two or some sort of purpose?
Sure. I mean, I think we'd love to have some purpose.
Ultimately, we got back around to giving up was kind of our theme.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way that it worked. We didn't have any Speak to Me Like I Was 5. Those are kind of that's my favorite game. I say that on a regular basis when I don't understand something, and I've yet to not get a laugh with that one. It's hard to stay mad at me when I start with that.
What were some of the things I wanted to add? I feel like interviewing Alex.
Yeah, you wanted to do that. Interviewing Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to have questions ahead of time though?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it can just. Do you want to see the questions ahead of time?
We'll talk about that between you and I.
Yeah, don't tell the world.
Don't. Hey, screen, curtain, Wizard of Oz, Horse of a Different Color.
And then the other thing I thought was the evaluating, and we kind of did that today, evaluating of some sort of viral motivational post.
Right, and that was the give up.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't even thinking about that, but yeah, that's what we kind of just did.
So do you want to interview me real quick with just a question, and then that's our structure. I think we need one more, honestly, for next week at least, just because I like threes. But interview
Alex,
me.
What's it like being the center of attention all the time?
There's a lot of pressure that goes into being the center of attention. The question you have to ask yourself is it something I want, or is it just who I am? So that's the hard part for me, is that some days I'll walk into a room and everybody looks at me and goes like, "I know you," in their head. You know what I mean? Like they'll give me that look, and instead of being like, "No, you don't," I'd rather be like, "Yes, you do."
Yeah, you probably see me out of a pair of pants somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, you probably see my face, on some legs. So
between some legs.
There's a lot of pressure that goes into it, and
what do you want, Alex? Do you want the attention?
I think if I didn't want the attention, I would probably be quiet. If I don't speak, if I don't reciprocate, then I can shield the attention. So either unconsciously, subconsciously, of course. I think that would be one of my biggest joys in a jar. I've never felt an electricity like making an entire room laugh together at the same time. When I tell you that the energy goes from here all the way up into the room and fills the room and ultimately shakes the room. It is like the drug that comedians chase.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what fuels a comedian, is to get that feeling back. That's the dragon.
But are there dips in the valley? Sometimes you kind of don't want the or
if I'm distracted with focusing on something else, and you have a different agenda that doesn't align with what I'm focused on, I may be extremely rude without even realizing it, because I'm so peripheral on what I want, and you don't see it. So there are definitely times when I don't want the attention.
What about when there's more energy in the room than you? You kind of made a comment about that to me a little while back, but like if you're surrounded by other people that want attention and have a little more,
I would definitely take a step back and let them have the attention and observe kind of what their reasoning for the attention is. Is this attention out of insecurity? Is this attention because you want to entertain? Because I feel like a lot of my wanting people to laugh comes from a place of bringing other people joy, and then the empath in me also fuels with that joy. So it's less thinking, I don't want you to get to know me, because some people use it as a crutch, and they use it so that you don't have to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
But I'm at the part of my life where I want to do both. So you're not thinking you're just doing it as a defense mechanism. No, I'm doing it because that's how my brain works at this point.
Do you ever feel depressed when you're not the center of attention?
Well, depression's a funny thing. It only, in my opinion, happens when you're alone. There are very few times when you're surrounded by people for a long period of time and can stay depressed.
You think so? Or do you think that's just how you tick?
I think ultimately depression comes from an inner voice that is loudest when you are alone. And when you are not alone, that's, even if you're going through the motions, there's still parts of your day that bring you joy. Maybe it's the burger at the cafeteria. Maybe it's watching somebody trip because you're a sick individual. But even if you're quote unquote depressed out and about, you're never going to be as depressed as you are when you're by yourself, because it feels like you're alone. It's the loneliness.
Yeah, and probably, because even when you're around people you don't like, there's probably some sort of a connection that's happening there that suppresses. I mean, you might feel sad, or I'm sure you feel depression, but to your point, I think, yeah, it probably really, really eats at you, when you're alone, and there's some sort of a warm connection you're feeling around people, even if you're feeling, negative things. Some people maybe even thrive on negative things. They're
Oh, for sure. That comes from needing therapy.
right.
I think that's, you uncover what that is and who that's from.
And this has been Interviewing Alex.
And there it is. That's our segment. There are 2 segments that we're guaranteed to do. We need to find a third one. I like Speak to Me Like I'm a 5-year-old.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I like that.
Like I said, it's one of my jokes. It's an interesting thing. So when I go out into the world and maybe buy things from like a store, I'll go to pay for it with money. And there's usually a person that will charge me that I'll give the money to, and they'll know how much everything costs. And usually those people don't want to be there, in my opinion. They don't want, maybe they do, it's not for me to decide. So I like to make them smile during the transaction, and not like a creepy way, like, you should smile more, you're pretty when you smile. I don't do that, obviously, because that would be offensive. But I always try to bring up or make them, even if I'm not doing it on purpose. And one of those ways is using that 5-year-old sort of punchline.
Yeah.
I have a bag of punchlines that I'll say, and I don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a punchline that you
just
would say?
Kind of a Rolodex that you go to?
Like hardly working or working hard.
Yeah.
Probably not funny, but
I mean, no, but sometimes people, I think they're just kind of trained, like, okay, so that was a funny thing, and it might make them smile anyways, even though they get it, they've heard it a million times. Or maybe, you know what? I mean, at some point, the younger folk maybe haven't heard some of these old jokes. It's time to resurrect them. What for the serious topic next week? Or I don't know how serious it is, but here's a topic that you reminded me of with what you just said. There is this nuance of how uncomfortable and sometimes even offensive being kind or saying a kind thing to someone is, especially when you involve the word love. Because I recently had this thing at work where people requested, there's a girl that works with me that she's a super bubbly, positive person, and she'll often say, like, I love you, I love you guys, and she throws it around like someone does something and, oh man, I love you, you're great, and it's just natural for her. It means and someone reported it, like it was a complaint department thing where it's like, hey, just so you know, there's a couple people that really feel uncomfortable when she says that and they want her to stop.
It's such a sketch.
And so like talking about that nuance of the idea that you can't even say you love someone.
I love that you reported me.
I mean, there has to be a reason. I've thought about this a bit, and we can dive into it in a different show. But like, somehow, like, so you can't even say something nice. People need love, and you can't even tell them that you love them because it has too many other things attached to it in there. Whatever their past was, there's some experience that is making saying I love you the thing they need uncomfortable.
It's not that she keeps telling me that she loves me. It's that she keeps kissing my neck while she's doing it. That's what makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't know why that part of it has to happen.
Yeah, and she really did. And I had to be the one to like tell her to stop.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I mean, I tried to make it serious. You know, I was like, I mean, you got to take it serious. I mean,
yeah.
But at the same
Again,
time, I
it's
was
not
just like,
that
I
she
don't
said-
understand.
It's not that she said the love word. It's that she kept putting her hands in my pockets while she was saying that she loved me so much. Like, I think that's really
It's the eye
why.
contact. It's the, you know, you got
Right.
2 seconds of eye
Yes.
contact before it gets awkward, right?
Right. And like, honestly, it wasn't the words "I love you." It was all of the pictures she'd cut out and put on her desk of my face, like with her. That really, I'm just saying, like, it wasn't the words. It was.
But how you really fight that
Is more love.
is you got to
You
go,
love
you got to
her
lean
back.
into it.
You
gotta lean
double
into
down. I love you more for saying that.
You cut a piece of her hair off.
Yes, and you make a doll. I'm also going through her trash and looking for fingernail clippings because that doll's incomplete without it. Anna said it's not so much the love, her saying the love part. It's I found a piece of paper on her desk that had her name and my last name written on it 100 times. That was the part that really got told to HR.
The picture of a family. Like a real family with photoshopped
with kids of us. Yes, I got it. That was really it. All right, Tuesdays. Are we doing 7 Eastern, 9?
Let me make
Central?
sure Tuesday works here because
Eastern, 10 Eastern.
I need to make sure that's the 25th.
Who knows? There may be a baseball game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably is.
It felt like every day. I swear, it felt like you were like,
baseball's
over. We finally, we, you know, the end of the year thing, and then it's like, okay, well, let's do it on this. No, I got a tournament.
Yeah, except for this one thing, except for playoffs.
Yeah, no, that works for me.
So Tuesdays, 10 Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific. We're gonna try to be consistent so that
7 Central.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait. 7 Central, 5 Pacific.
That's
okay.
I think that's right. Yeah.
All right.
Mountain Pacific.
I don't know. That's
how many
beyond my
zones are there?
But we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye, Jordan.
See ya.